Hello and welcome to another Train Sim 2021 review video. I know it's been a while since we last did one. I have been very busy. I did promise that I'd do a review on the power brake controller, which I do now have. But unfortunately, at the moment, as you see, I have no webcam or DSLR that I can plug in and use. That's because I still have to do some things myself. I've ran out of USB ports is the best way that I can put it, and that would be down to the fact that there's a lot of USBs that are currently hooked up, so I do apologise for not bringing that video out as of yet. However, that's not the focus for today. The focus for today is a new route, Trap Moss. It's from Alan Thomson Sim. The came out literally today, so I literally, as soon as I saw the post, I went and bought it. I have a subscription to the site. That means I get it at $14.99 instead of the usual $24.99. And to be quite honest, from what I've seen little snippets of the route so far. It's worth the money whether you pay $24.99 or whether you pay $14.99. However, as always, the subscription is always worth it, because there is so much on that website now in terms of train sim content. It's unbelievable. Factoring in as well as you need the overhead line equipment pack from ATS, so it is just really worth getting that subscription so that you get discounts across the board on any payware material that they bring out. So I'm going to be driving one of the scenarios that comes with the route today. I have seen the reskin of this 802, and I will say, we'll come out of pause so I can quickly show you. It is an absolutely stunning livery. They've done a great job with the reskin. It does come with a route, this. So it does come packaged in with a route. Obviously, you need some requirements to go along with it, so just make sure that you have the requirements. They have a well-documented PDF file that literally goes into history of the stations and all sorts. It's fantastic. One thing that I will say, I do apologise in advance. Obviously, because there's no enhancement pack or anything for the 8OX series of trains in Train Sim as of right now. It is obviously default sounds. They have not aged well, to say the least. However, that is definitely not going to be the focus. I just want to get that out of to begin with. I hope the sounds don't ruin your experience. I try to avoid driving this train as much as possible at the moment, whether it's the Azuma or whatever reskin using, just purely because I just can't. I can't get away from the fact of how bad the train sounds. But like I said, that's not the focus. I want to get that out of the way and done with. That's not got anything to do with these guys. I think the reskin is absolutely stunning, and they've done a fantastic job. So we'll be starting here at Liverpool Lime Street, and I believe we're going all the way through to Manchester Victoria on 1 Papa 35, Liverpool Lime Street to Newcastle. Good afternoon, driver. Welcome to 802.216. Set up your train and prepare for a 16:54 departure. You will be calling at Lee Green, Newton Willows, and Manchester Victoria. Traffic isn't too bad this evening, so you should have a fairly good run. This service does have a 15-minute standing time at Manchester Victoria. However, you should aim to arrive for around 17:30. Enjoy the run. So right before we get into it, they mentioned this already. Obviously, this is the same Liverpool Lime Street model that I believe it's in the missing link. I think it's just the default one from DTG. I could be wrong. But obviously all the overhead line equipment and stuff is all different. So the only thing that I seem to be missing for this scenario is the Class 158 EMR reskin. I have the up-to-date pack, so I don't know. I couldn't see anything on there that would indicate a different reskin, but it's probably just me being silly. So let's get into it. Good afternoon, driver, and welcome to 802.204. You will work this first portion of the Transpennine Express service to Newcastle. Please see your brief for more information. Obviously, we've already done that. So, let's go ahead. We'll get the doors open for the passengers. Turn our DRA off. Obviously not capable actually in this train, but it is what it is. So, I'm really intrigued. I could already see the signals and stuff, massive improvement. But I'm really intrigued to see this route. I've not seen the route in its fullest, and so this really is sort of a. I'll move that out of the way. Like a first look sort of thing. We should probably get our lights actually sorted over here. We want to be on dimmed. There we go, perfect. And we should have tail lights already on. Yeah. I guess so. Look at that, beautiful. So like I said, I am really intrigued to sort of see this route in its fullest, as it were. I've seen screenshots and stuff already, but driving the route I haven't been able to experience yet. And obviously this is a first experience for me in terms of reviewing the route as well, so I hope that you all do enjoy it. And obviously you can leave any feedback in the comments below. Got a 323 coming in there. A reskin that's also available on ATS. I believe it's Ollie something. I do apologise. I had the name written down and then I've lost it. So, but I'm already loving the AI in this scenario. To be honest, a lot of the scenarios that come out nowadays, I like. People do an absolutely fantastic job on the AI workings and stuff. The first thing that I could sort of say, just sitting here at Lime Street, is like, you wouldn't think that this simulator is as old as it is, and the routes that have been coming out recently have been a massive sort of step up from what we've had in the past, and it's really just gives the sim like a fresh look, as it were. And there's only so much obviously you can do with such an old simulator or such an old game in general, with how old the game engine is now. But I think especially a lot of the stuff that I get through routes like for ATS and on-track simulation, I've got the Harrogate Loop V2, which I've still yet to do sort of my sort of 2 cents review on. Is just the feel of those routes, the more modern, the modelling of the platforms and stuff like that just makes, I don't know what it is about it, but it just seems more fresh, and it is truly fantastic. So we'll be getting underway shortly. Very long way to this platform. You're going to hear in a moment how bad these sounds are. I don't know. There's a lot of scenarios that come out for the 800s, and I'm sure they're fantastic scenarios, but I just don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm so used to like Armstrong Powerhouse stuff that I just can't drive anything that isn't that anymore. I'm going to put that into flat. We're going to get the signal to go. We don't have... That's right, we don't have a guards buzzer on this, of course. Right. Well, let's go. Next stop's Lee Green in 10 minutes time, roughly. On these load speed areas, I always have a habit of speeding on them, so I'll try not to do that today. I will comment as well on the whole overhead line equipment. This pack has done wonders for the sim. Having actual really high detailed overhead line equipment on any route that uses it is just, it's fantastic. And it just transforms the route. It could take a really old, outdated route and just transform it completely. I think it's fantastic, the job that they've done on that. Obviously, this is my first route review. I know the pack has been out for a long time, but it does truly transform it. And I hope to see this overhead line equipment on routes like the West Coast Main Line over Shap and West Coast Main Line North. I know they're working on the merge for that. They're working on I will admit, like, from what they've sort of gone out and said, they're working on a lot of stuff at the same time at the moment by the sounds of it. And you know, the team behind ATS have just, everything that they've sort of brought out, they've made sure that they pay attention to detail. They've really knocked it out of the park. So you know, I think, you know, bravo to them, and as long as they keep doing what they're doing, they'll go a lot of places, and hopefully we can sort of start to see a transition into you know, one day having third-party support maybe for Train Sim World 2, or having a more up-to-date sim that has that third-party support, because as great as TS Classic has treated us over the many years, it is outdated. And you know, when you got like the likes of, from the flight sim side, you got Microsoft Flight Sim, which is on a whole new level in terms of the graphics of the engine and stuff like that. That really is what we're missing, is that perfect blend of high quality detail, like an up-to-date game engine, but also keeping the simulation aspect, because you just don't get that in TSW2. You just don't. It has the game engine there. It makes the game feel a lot nicer, but you don't have the third party support, obviously, and you don't. You just don't have a lot of things that make Train Sim. Just keep it in notch 1 as we come out of Lime Street here. Because knowing me, otherwise I will go over 40 very quickly. But we'll be able to get up to 75 soon. Now, I will check, because they're not timetabled it, so when are we meant to lie? Alright, just whenever. But then we got Newton Willows that we need to arrive at 17:11. So we just need to make sure we're there on time. I'll drop off that power. Going through Edge Hill now, which I believe is also not changed since Missing Link. Bit of a stutter there. Should be alright. But as you can see here, you can see the effect that overhead line equipment has on this route already. It's just fantastic. Be able to pick up and go back into notch 1 here. Got the Drax wagons there off the side, also available on ATS. There's a lot of stuff in this that are available on ATS. Some Class 6.6s, very nice, very nice. Alright, now we can pick it up. Take us into notch 2. We can go all the way to notch 4. We'll get some time here. Yeah, this 802 reskin, I won't lie, it really has some detail to it. I love the Transpennine Express livery. The new one that they have is just absolutely superb. Go back down to notch 1. We'll just have a look here as well. Some of these stations. Otherwise I'm going to fly through them and just do a normal scenario. You can see here, sort of like with the platforms and the way that the textures and stuff have been done. It's really high detail. Obviously, you can get up real close, but it's not meant to be seen from really close. It's meant to be seen from this sort of distance. And to be honest, it does bring a whole breath of fresh air to the sim as a whole. The station does look really nice though. Yeah, very, very nice indeed. I love the... I'm pretty sure all this is custom as well. It's very nice. You know, this has been a route, by the way, like, that they've been working on for a while. Like, a long time. I remember when I first subscribed to the site when it sort of first launched, I think. And they were talking about it way back then. I think a few months after that, maybe. I don't know. I can barely remember last week. So, this is superb here. These textures along these walls here. I love the effect that they've got going on. Where they've got them sticking out slightly. That really does give off a really good effect. It's quite smart how they've gone about doing that. Yeah, that is really, really nice. So to drive through this whole section here, and like they've done it all the way. Like, this is fantastic. Obviously they've not done anything too special, you know. So it's just very clever how they've done it. And to give the textures along these walls as well is fantastic. I will admit that is. I'm not normally a big thing, you know, for like, you know, foliage and stuff like that, and you know, the scenery sort of aspect. But it really, well, it is really good. Oh, we can get back up to speed a little bit here. Go back to Notron. Here we go. Got another station. I am going to do this all the way through, because obviously the purpose of this video is to review the route. Sort of to give you an idea of whether you'd want to get it. Now, I have got the textures installed, the branding patch, sorry, for this. So, you know, just if you don't install the branding patch, like some of these signs and stuff are different, but apparently they're meant to be quite comical as well. So if you want to see that, then feel free to not put the branding patch on. Again, I feel like it's going to be the same sort of thing all the way through these stations. You know, I don't really come along this part very often. I've been to Liverpool a couple of times, but they've really. I'm sure if you were to go watch a cab ride video, because that's how most you know, good route builders do their routes nowadays. This would be like down to the detail, pretty much, you know. I do wish people would stop using these cross-country signs. I'll be honest. I hope someone could do like a different... This isn't anything to do with the route, but I see that you see this everywhere on like loads of routes nowadays. I wish that there would be like a bit more of an updated one maybe, but that's nothing to do with the route or this review, trust me. I find it funny that they are used, because it's a bit... You know, it's a bit out of place, to be honest, but, you know, again, we don't need to worry about that. The shelters are really nice. That gives off the impression that it's maybe a bit too far in that. Yeah. I don't know if it's meant to be like that in real life, but it's not an issue. It's definitely not an issue, but I'm sure if it's not going to be like that, they'll fix that. If loads of people will complain about it, which I doubt they will. This is great. This here, you know, you don't really pay attention to what's really outside your sort of cab view, but I mean, look at this. Like, for what's within view, sort of thing, the detail that they've done on the streets and stuff like that, and you know, you obviously got the motorway there. It's just that's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, that. Again, in the station as well, like it's the textures of the station, the way that they're modelling them. I think, it's absolutely great job. I'm going to pick up a bit more speed here, so we don't want to be late. It's also like the scenery and stuff. It's not repetitive. You know, it's like to the as realistic as they could possibly do it, which I think is amazing. I've seen a couple of routes now where the scenery and stuff can get very repetitive, and it just feels like you're not really going anywhere. Where with this sort of route, you could tell you're traveling from Liverpool all the way to Manchester. You know, it feels real. Oh, no, I shouldn't have done that. That is horrible. Let's have a look here. Alright, where are we at? Roby. I do apologise if I mispronounce any of these station names. Like I said, I'm not really too familiar with the route in real life. Like I said, I've been this way once or twice, but again, I don't know what it is, but when they do their stations, it was the same on the Missing Link as well, the Preston section. Oh, I'm in a TeamSpeak. I did not realise that was in. Let's go ahead and...
User disconnected from your channel.
Disconnect from that.
Disconnected.
Okay. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted there. Yeah, so it's something about the I don't know if it's just the textures that really do it. I imagine it is a mixture of both. It's the way that they blend the models to the textures or something. I'm not really too familiar, but they've done a fantastic job. And this guy is floating. Not really too sure why he's floating. He's performing some magic. Interesting. That's just that's a train sim thing. That's not got anything with the route, surely. That's got to be a train sim thing. But no, again, I feel like maybe I don't know whether these platforms are this clean in real life, but again, you know, no, absolutely fantastic job. And I keep forgetting to mention the signals. So they've obviously what they've done with the signaling to sort of match what I would take would be in real life is again fantastic. We're gonna just fly through here, but no, I don't know what it is. I just feel like so far I'm very, very impressed with the route. It's very hard to find really any flaws with it. Who's to say, well, they took a long time, so there shouldn't be any flaws. But realistically, route building is a very difficult task. It's not something I ever could venture into. That's for certain. It takes a lot of hours, and when you think about it, for the hours it takes, they're gonna need to sell this route to a lot of people to really get their money's worth out of how long it's taken them to make the route. And I think they mentioned it on one of the streams that with sort of the amount of time that it's taken and stuff, that it'll be very hard for them to make the money back. But they wanted, it was a passion project, and so that's fair enough. That is completely fair. I am looking forward to the day that the sounds for this damn train get updated. Like, ugh. Here we go. We got another one here. Whiston or Weiston. I don't know. I've butchered that one completely. This is cool. And you can tell, like, these are all models that have been done from scratch. These are not taken from... I mean, obviously you tell by the requirements of the route, it's very minimal. That is... That's another TS thing right there, and it really looks... But again, I'm not gonna fault that at all. That is pretty funny though. You got it on both sides here, and look at this. Like, I know a lot of people don't really pay attention to outside of the stations, but just you know, these textures here and stuff are just fantastic. Adding like trampolines and stuff in the backyard. I like even going all the way out here where they got buildings all the way out here. And you know, realistically, if you're down at eye level with the train, down at train level, you ain't gonna see that. The fact that they've gone all the way out, and if you zoom all the way out here, right, for this station, that's a big radius of stuff right there, you know. And it really puts it in perspective, I think, because you're not just doing sort of like one little box here, which they realistically, especially on this side with these houses covering, they could sort of get away with if they had done that, because you wouldn't really be able to tell. On this side is a bit more difficult because it's definitely more open. It's fair enough. But the fact that they've still done it, they've gone all out, is fantastic. I mean, they like absolutely great job there. And I know I'm going to be saying this a lot. I am going to be saying it a lot, but it's just true. It's just true. Like, there's no other way to put it. Still chugging along here. So yeah, I do that from time to time. I send the PVC the wrong way. I've still yet to get the T-bar handle and the ball handle for the PVC. So when I drive in the 390, I can't actually switch the PVC around. So that's why I end up doing it, because I drive the 390 a fair bit. Let's have a look here. Right. Ooh. Where we at now? Rain Hill. Like, again here, like, just the attention to detail. Like, just things like this. You know. I like that. I do like that. That's quite nice. But, like, attention to detail, it's just, it is great. And again, like I said, it really goes back to the whole thing of, you see a lot of routes that come out for train sim over the past sort. If you look back over the past 5 years, and how the engine stayed the same, but how the route building has evolved, and even scenario making, I think, is another big one. Is how it's evolved over these sort of even past 5 years. And it's all down to the third party support, and I think DTG really need to start listening to people when it comes to TSW. Is all these features that you add are gimmicky, because at the end of the day, you know, I think I will talk about it more in a separate video, but like, they are gimmicky at the end of the day. And you know, when what people really want, they want a simulator, and obviously you got to cater for the console market and stuff as well. But then you could bring out a console edition, which is slightly different. It's a bit more, not dumbed down, but it doesn't need all the features that, you know, the people on PC that play it are simulator fans. You know, that they want the authentic experience of driving that train, and you know, they've got, you know, some of the features like being able to walk around the whole train, rather than just having your views, your passenger view and stuff like that, is an experience that people do enjoy. But then when you got stuff like, you know, rush hour, it just, people don't want that. I mean, there are probably people who do, but people want an updated version of TS Classic, essentially, better game engine, you know, that kind of thing. And DTG really need to listen to that market a bit more, because, you know, look at Flight Sim. I'm gonna stop in time, I think. We're at Lee Green now. We're gonna have to really put those brakes on a bit. We sent it into emergency, but that's because I greatly overshot the platform there. That is my bad. Anyways, let's have a quick look around whilst we're picking up the passengers. Oh, that was bad. I've opened a few doors there. That's fine. Right, just pause it. Okay, League Arena, our first stop of the day. Nice little small station. Again, absolutely fantastic job here. And I love how, like I said it again, they know people are gonna want to look around a little bit, and they've really gone all out. Even outside the station area, they've done the car park and stuff like that. No, that is good. That is good. I feel like this train would never have stopped at this platform. Well, not stopped at this platform, but yeah, it's too big for the platform anyway. So we'll just pretend that we meant to do that. Right, we need to get going again. Oh, we're in neutral. New Willows. We are currently running ever so slightly late. So we'll see if we can make that time back up. Like, even like the line side equipment and stuff, they've done a good job on here. We've still got so long to go yet. Let's get some more power going. Right, I'm gonna put it into notch 4. So yeah, my thoughts so far on this route are glowing review, 10 out of 10. And you know, I am just a customer at the end of the day, you know, nothing special or anything like that. I just felt like doing this review. I will admit that I am a big fan of a lot of stuff that ATS actually do. But if they brought something out that was terrible, then the review would be terrible. The thing is that there just isn't really anything that they've brought out that is terrible. And that's a good thing. I mean, you got other developers and stuff that still do stuff for TS Classic. You know, you've got Just Trains, for example. You know, they do a lot of routes, but I feel like they have a lot of hit and miss moments. Which I feel like as soon as you sort of bring out a product that you sort of hype up, and then it's terrible, it's very hard to get that trust back from the customer. And I'm not saying anything that JT has done is to that level of bad at all, because there's a lot of stuff that I bought from JT. But I feel like, you know, when you have this level of detail with the overhead line equipment, with just the way that the route feels, I just feel like it's on a different level, to be quite honest with you. Start to slow down here. I like the little repeater markers as well. Like, let's have a look. Oof, getting a bit of stuff. Okay, right, where are we at here? Hillstown. A lot of these stations are very small and compact, but I don't know. I like it. I really do. I think it's great. Another track going off here this way. Which is the Mersey Road link. Oh, this is good. It's very, very, very nice. That's cool. Quite like that. I do like the way that they use every single aspect here to sort of give off that effect. The 2D stuff is a bit annoying, but that's again not something that I'm going to say that makes the route terrible or even remotely bad. That's just a thing for me. I get why it's used over 3D. Using 3D everywhere is just going to kill your frames on lower end systems and stuff, so I get why it's done like I do. Now this is, and it's every single one of the station signs and stuff like they've done. They're just an absolutely fantastic job of getting this in and just making it that next level. Alright, we should definitely slow down in time. Yeah, it will be good. Just lay off the brake for a moment. Hopefully we don't overshoot this platform. So I'll just keep tapping that brake there. Newtonley Willows. This is great. Look at this. Look, this detail here. Again, absolutely great job. I feel like, though, if you're gonna do stuff like this, now again, I feel bad for being picky about it, because like I said, I could never realistically build a route or anything. But I feel like stuff like this, like if you're gonna have different textures, just be sort of wary on how you're doing this, because this doesn't look amazing. Now again, realistically, I'm sure there's a lot of limitations and stuff involved, and it's by no means is it like should it put anyone off from buying the route, stuff like this, because they've gone through the effort, and that's the important thing, is the fact that they've gone through the effort to do it in the first place. But I do feel like there's a lot of texture bleed in here, which I think they need to realistically have a little look at, because I'm sure there'll be some people out there that will be like, that's it, I'm not buying the route because of that. And it's like, well, come on, look at the rest of the route, like the stations and everything else. Like realistically, when are you going to look at the roads? But if we were to pick out anything so far, then this could be better, I would say. But again, I don't want that, you know, if one of the guys who made the route is watching this, I do not mean that in a way where it's like, that's it, I'm put off from buying the route or anything, because it's truly not the case. I mean, I've obviously bought the route, but I'm not trying to put others off from buying the route in any way, because so far, the fact that it only cost me $14.99, it feels like I've stolen it from them. Because that's how good value it is for money. Like, realistically, if you want a really nice route to drive, this truly is one of those. And like, again, just the detail on these buildings and stuff are just they're on a whole new level. Right. So next stop is Manchester Victoria, which will be arriving in on platform 4. And so far we are running pretty much on schedule. A few seconds out, but I'm sure we'll be able to make that time back. If it was in real life, I've never had luck with being on time in getting into Manchester. That's normally Piccadilly, Oxford Road area. So I think Victoria will be alright, but yeah, outside of Victoria, it's Oxford Road and Piccadilly I just never have any luck with, so I'm glad we're not going there today. Sort of pick up a bit more speed here. We need to really make all the time. And again, they got the textures on the walls back there. They're just, it's nice to see the quality is very consistent all the way through the route. There's not really any areas where you have one bit of the route which is really bad or anything. Oh look, we got a bit of rain coming on. Sounds about right for the north. It is, I will admit though, like driving the 800 sets with a very nice open window, the effects you get from the rain and the view of the route as a whole is very nice. Definitely starting to see a bit of change in the weather. It's just so lush and green. I love it. I love it. Ooh, nearly overspeeding. We don't want that. Looks like it stopped again. Nice little weather effect. Oh, I've still got them. Not sure it's actually off. I'm sure I would have seen at least that East Midlands trains probably by now, but I'll be honest, genuinely don't know why I'm missing that. Like I said, I think I've overlooked some when looking at the manual and the requirements. And the manual, by the way, even if you feel like you don't need it, because you don't need to set anything up or anything, it's worth looking at because the detail that they put into that manual, bit of history around the stations and stuff as well, it's worth a read. Like, they've done an absolutely amazing job with the research and stuff on that. We can easily get a bit more speed before we hit. There we go. Right. Very repetitive sound on this train though. Oh, there we go. Slow down again. I do love a bit of rain. I've got a faster setting than this. Oh, we do not. There we go. Okay, apparently using V is not any good. It is very fast, isn't it? Let's slow that down a little bit. That's a bit much. Alright, I'm going to start to pick up the speed a little bit here. We are still running on schedule, which is very nice. Rain is starting to come down a little bit more now. I'll be honest, you sort of get used to the bad sounds of the 800 or the 802 in this case, but same thing. We'll get a screenshot at Victoria that we can use for the thumbnail, because really, like, that's sort of the flagship station of this route is Victoria, I think. We get to have a real look around, see what it's like. Keep as close to 75 as we can, so that we can stay on time. I don't know what it is, but you feel like you're already getting closer to Manchester. It's nice. This sort of final stretch here is quite cool. We got a yellow, or did it just giving me that? Speed. Here we go. Let's have a quick look at these stations here as well. Yeah, Patricroft. Nice little simple station here. That's very nice. See, they do the I love it. I don't know. I love it. The little details and stuff around down here. That is very nice. That is very nice. I need to really pay attention to this final approach, otherwise I will completely mess it up. It will be bad. a tile stuck there. And you get that, I will admit, you get that, but that's just, I feel like that is just the game engine. Like I said, the level of detail you go with these routes, it's just... And it's definitely not bad at all. Let's have a look here. Oh, this is cool. They've done the raised platform. That's cool. Eccles right now. No, that is good. Again, it's just little details like that, isn't it, really? Little details like that really go a long way. You got the switch over here, which is nice. That's just crazy. And we're coming on this stretch now. This is a... It's just... It is really good. It is really good. Turn these wipers down a little bit. Actually looks like we turned them off. This is the stretch I like. The running, I've been along this stretch before as well, obviously, but it feels like it in real life. They've done a really good job here running alongside the motorway. This is good, because this is genuinely what it's like in real life, and they've sort of brings that realism aspect up a notch coming into Manchester here. I do need to slow down just a tad. We can just keep laying on the brake a little bit. So we approach the 50, then the 30. And I believe we're going to get to see the odds accord here, which is another key sort of, I'd like to say, a key aspect of the route. Key detail, as it were. Let me know that we should really be slowing down here. And we are going to need to slow down a bit more. We're approaching that 30. Lightly tap on the brake, and we're bang on time now. I told you we'll make up that difference in the seconds, and we should hopefully be bang on time coming into Victoria. Apply the brakes a bit harder there. We're in the 30 zone now. You see what I mean? It's a bit of a struggle there, but that's just getting closer now. And they have quite a high-end system, I will admit. Again, I think that's just a train sim thing. I don't think it has anything to do with system spec or anything like that. They've done a really great job with these signals around here. So here we are coming on the auto chord. Let's have a look at this in a bit more detail, shall we? So we can get a full sort of view of it. Now this is fantastic. You obviously got Oxford Road and stuff off this way. And again, like they've just done like, I don't know how far out we can go. Can we get to Oxford Road? Oh, we can. Nice. Yeah, but they've done a really good job. Like genuinely. And I feel like this is... Have they touched this up a little bit? I feel like they have. I feel like this has been touched up a little bit, maybe. I could be wrong. Oh, that's interesting. I feel like I'm missing. Oh, Swan Piccadilly was included in this. So I'm sure you did a sort of, maybe not. Oh, I saw it on Quick Drive, that's all. Because I've definitely got the route, so maybe. Oh, okay. We'll ignore that then. Yeah, I could have sworn I had it, but it's just Victoria. That's fine. It's not. It's definitely not an issue at all. Because you've got. I imagine it must be Oxford Road then. Anyways, going off track a little bit there. I have lost myself. So we've got Oxford Road. Here we go. Right. So yeah, back to the altar chord. This is great, and they've really matched the level of detail, and they've really got as close to realism as possible on this section here. And I just love the repeater signals and stuff. They've made sure everything is to detail. And coming into Victoria, it just feels right. It does genuinely feel right. We can sort of just cruise through here. This is brilliant. This is really good. Safford Central. Yeah, just the level of detail they got going on. Top notch work. And then platform 4. I'm loving this sort of final approach here into Victoria. This is very nice. Ooh, I'm loving the lighting inside this station. Ooh, that is very nice. Oh, yeah, definitely gonna have a look around here. That actually arrived a bit early. Nice. Right, let's pause that. Let's have a look. This is cool. Power changeover for the Class 769. Switch over to diesel for Staley Bridge and Newton Heath. This is a fantastic job they've done with this station. This genuinely, I know I've said this about every station, but I know we've sort of had the Victoria in the sim already on the on the Pennine route, which is also available on ATS, which is definitely worth checking out. But this is incredible. The level of detail. See, they've got the. Have they done? Let's see through one. Oh, they have done it. That's it. That is good. I'm sure that was quite a task to undertake. Just like real life, you can't see in, but you can see out, sort of thing. That is very, very nice, indeed. And obviously you got the tram link here, and you got the gate line. It's very nice, very realistic. And just like Victoria, you got all these really nice old style buildings here, which are just incredible. No, 100% top marks. They've done a really good job of making Victoria Station look like Manchester Victoria Station, like genuinely. Although every time I've gone through it recently, there's always been scaffolding up. No, in all seriousness though, this is good. This is what I like to see from new routes that come out. Which sorts of, I'm gonna leave it paused because I really want to talk about this, like my final sort of final moments on it. This is nice. See, these are the sort of posters I'd expect to see all the way through the stations. It would have been, instead of those goddamn cross country ones. No, but in all seriousness, like genuinely, sort of reflection of this route. If you're paying $24.99, you're not subscribed, obviously it's still worth it, 100%, hands down. Compared to other routes that have come out at that price, I feel like, I mean, it would have been a lot to ask to charge more, but if they did, I wouldn't complain with how, I mean, look at the effects on this platform. That's amazing. That genuinely, they've done an impressive job with the lighting to get that sort of effect. That is, again, that is fantastic. Anyways, let's get a screenshot and then we'll just make our final notes, final talking points, as it were. There we go. Right. So my final sort of thoughts on it. I wish every route that came out for TS Classic was to this level of detail. I mean, the stuff that I've been really impressed for a while now with the stuff that ATS keep bringing out. You know, I have the Cambridge to Peterborough route. I have the missing link stuff, and now obviously I have this as well. And anything that directly comes out from them. And to be honest, I will say about the site as a whole, anything that comes off that site has been a absolutely amazing thing for TS Classic. And I feel like, just to sort of talk about it a little bit more in detail with sort of the website aspect and stuff as well. Because obviously a lot of people are like, well, $24.99, do I really want to pay that? 100% you need to. Like, genuinely, you need to. You need to see, if you've never had an ATS route before, okay, this is the best way I can put it. If you never had an ATS route before, buy it. Buy one of them, whether that, you know, I mean, I know Missing Link, for example, it's a subscription-based thing, so get the subscription, and then get these routes downloaded and try them for yourself, because honestly, it gives you a whole new take on TS Classic that you didn't think existed. Like, I would never have thought that we'd still be here today. I've been playing this sim since it first came out. You know, I came from Microsoft Train Sim. I wouldn't think a sim this old would be able to produce this kind of quality. And sure, if you want to compare it to the likes of Flight Sim's game engine or Train Sim World's game engine, then obviously it's different. And obviously you could tell it's still older, but they keep knocking it out the park, and I feel like this is something that other route builders or developer companies that do stuff for TS Classic, I should say, need to really look at the stuff that ATS bring out and go, all right, yeah, we need to make sure we are consistently always building to this level of quality. If it takes you longer, it takes you longer. there shouldn't be this need for a rush. Now I understand it, people to pay and people's livelihoods, and you need to consistently be bringing stuff out, but that's obviously part of the game, part of the thing that you've gotten into, I suppose. But look at what they do. They take a bit more time, I feel like, with these routes. I mean, obviously Chatmos is one that they've had in the works for a while, like a long time, compared to, I mean, to be honest, all their stuff they always have in the works before they really bring it out, but with good reason. Stuff like, the way these stations are modelled and textured, to the way just the scenarios and stuff are done as well. Like, they really need to have, they really need to start paying attention more, I think. And like, maybe that's just me, and you can say what you want, but until you try it, don't knock it until you try it, kind of thing, because it truly is worth it. And so my final point in it is just the site as a whole, because I know it's a very mixed bag in the train sim community. The thing is, all we've ever had in the past is UKTS, and I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be brutally honest here, and UKTS is an absolute garbage, awful website that is heavily outdated, and it just is, and that is my personal opinion on the matter, but it just is. Whereas ATS's site, it's just good. If you don't have a subscription, you're not throttled for your downloads and stuff, like stupid stuff like that. It's just ridiculous that they still do that to this day on UKTS. But we've needed something like this for a while now for TS Classic. We have a site where you can go on and it has all these different developers and stuff, and scenario makers and everything else all in one place. So there's an absolute massive range of content. And that's not even when you're talking about subscription. That's just creating a free account on the site. So it is worth doing, and it is worth checking out. Seriously, put your opinions of people or whatever aside, because I know that's what that comes down to, and actually go use the site. Just use it, because there's a lot of good people on there that produce some absolutely amazing stuff, and some of them have their own websites as well, which I 100% also recommend checking out, because there's some assets and stuff available that are only on their own websites. But it's a nice hub of train sim content that you can go and access and get involved with. And like I said, I do speak very highly of them, because they do an amazing job with everything that they sort of produce at the moment, and I hope it stays that way, because the consistency is what's key for anything. And there are definitely, like, look at DTG. There is no consistency, if I'm perfectly honest. And that, I feel like maybe that's just because they produce stuff more regularly, and that's why. But consistency is the key, and I think that for a lot of simulator fans, they don't mind waiting a little bit longer to get hold of something, as if it means that the end result is going to be perfect. Now, what I'd like to see next, I'm still waiting. I'd love to drive the Class 185 on this route. I think it would be amazing to see that model from InView Studios come to life and really get to experience that on this route. I think the Class 185 that we have available, though, at the moment is a perfect stopgap that is honestly an amazing thing to drive, to be honest with you. Sure, you could argue it's not 100% realistic or whatever, but to be honest, it's a stopgap, and it's a stopgap that has been desperately needed for a long time, and I think that was from Jake Fuller, who's done an amazing job on putting that together, and it works. It does everything you need it to do, and it is good drive, to be honest. I'll be honest, it is a very good drive driving that. It sounds like what a Class 185 sounds like to a degree, sure, but it is worth it. Anyways, I'm getting off track. I just love a lot the Trent Pennine stuff is something that's been missing from the game for a while now. And it's nice to start to see routes being able to make a bit more use out of that. We just need the trains, I suppose, to go along with it. But there are some brilliant stopgaps there, and this 802 as well it's not a stopgap. It just needs the enhancement pack, which I know ATS have openly said they are working on, but I think we're still realistically probably a while off. I'd love to get my hands on it and sort of I'd love to compare. I think, and this is, I'd love to compare the difference driving it with the more realistic sounds and stuff. I'd love to go back and play this, drive this scenario again, and with those sounds, and see the difference, because I'm sure there is. And maybe that's just me. I just like that level of detail. But even driving this, I genuinely don't like the driving the 800 sets at the moment. But this set on this route was actually made it quite enjoyable to drive. So it's fair enough. So 100%, obviously, I recommend to buy it. I do recommend, realistically, get the subscription. You get that discount, but you can also go download all their other stuff that's available. I believe you get a discount on their overhead line equipment pack as well. So it is really worth doing. Genuinely, like do it. Honestly, it will be worth your money. Because there will be other stuff that they bring out that you will enjoy. But aside from that, thank you for watching. I hope you've stuck around till the end. If you haven't already, please do subscribe and press the little bell icon so you can stay notified when I do my next video. I will try to do these videos a bit more regularly. I do appreciate that I have said that I would do one, and then I didn't get around to doing it. But if people do if they want to see more, if you guys want to see more, then just comment that you want to see more, and maybe it'll give you a bit of motivation to do some more as well. So, again, thank you very much, and we're just hopefully the next video will be just as good. So thank you very much. Oh, also, I will leave the links to this route and to the Alan Thomson website in the description below. And except for that, have a fantastic day. See you later. Goodbye.